Hey everyone, and welcome to week 39 of baby girl's pregnancy. I am pretty sure I'm actually in real labor right now. It is, my contractions are definitely not feeling like Braxton Hicks. They are a little bit harder, or a lot harder to breathe through. Okay, hang on. One's coming right now. I'm just walking around trying to breathe through them. I started timing them this morning while I was in church because they were feeling a little crampy. I had some crampy contractions last night when I went to sleep, but was able to fall asleep and get a semi-good night's rest for going to bed way too late. So right now I am actually doing some baking and trying to distract myself from the contractions so I don't try to predict when they're coming. But I need to call the doctor probably pretty soon because my contractions are very random again. On my first pregnancy, Hannah's were like clockwork. It did exactly what the book was supposed to do. Zeke's were all over the place, and his were coming like every 2 to 3 minutes. Sometimes I would get like a 7-minute break. I'd called the hospital when we were living in Minnesota like 3 times that day, and they were like, "You're not in real labor because they're so random." And finally on the 3rd call, they're like, "Well, you can come in if you want to, and we can just check you." So I've been laying down, I've been sitting, now I'm trying the whole standing or walking around to just see what's going to happen, but they're still so random, but they definitely are feeling like real contractions. So we will see what happens and we'll see what the doctor says, but I figure the doctor, it's Sunday, would probably want a heads up on changing their weekend plans, so if they're not already at the hospital anyways. So, but yeah, so just trying to breathe and walk through my contractions and distract myself so I don't try to predict the time, and just see how they're going. I have an app on my phone called LaborMate that's free, and all I have to do is press start when the contraction starts and press stop when the contraction stops, and it'll tell you like how long it's been since your last one and how long this one lasted and everything. So love that app. And yeah, so we'll just see how this continues to go. So apparently baking while timing contractions and in labor is not the best idea because these are our 2 semi-good batches.
They're croutons.
We already threw out a batch that was totally black, so don't really recommend baking if you want to actually eat what you bake. I was semi-correct that I was in real labor. We got to the hospital and I was still only 1 centimeter dilated, like I was at my 38-week checkup. And so they had me walk the hall. I had an option. I could either go home or walk the hall for an hour. So I walked the hall for an hour, and then I was at 3 centimeters. So then the doctor decided to go ahead and just keep me. And now I'm at 5 and have an epidural, so things are so much better than they were before. So she'll be here sometime. Halle is just a little over 12 hours old now. Here she is. Hi, baby girl. I know Mommy turned the lights on you, and it's almost time to eat. Just gotta show you off a little bit. So I was gonna be really embarrassed yesterday because when we got here, I was still only 1 centimeter, and I had been feeling the contractions and everything, and I knew that they were real contractions, like they totally felt like it. But I got here and I was only 1 centimeter, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I've been keeping myself busy at home. I'd been timing contractions since church yesterday morning, and we didn't even leave the house until 5. And so we got here, I was at 1 centimeter. And so they had the option, well, you can go home and you can relax and eat dinner and just be in your own atmosphere. Or if you want, you can walk the halls around the birth center for an hour, and then we can check you again and see if anything happens. And I was really embarrassed to have to walk the halls. But you know what? I was just like, I don't want to go home right now because I just came. I was too embarrassed to go home. So I figured, all right, we'll walk the halls and we'll just see what happens. And so I walked the hall for 1 hour, and then I was at 3 centimeters at the end of that. So I was very thankful for that, but I was still worried they were going to send me home. They called my doctor, and my doctor said, you know what, go ahead and admit her, and we'll just see what happens from here. And then I think, what was it? By 8 o'clock, I think I was at 5 centimeters. And then she was born at 9:30. So I was only here for 4.5 hours, not even 4.5 hours before she was born. So I came at the right time, I guess. I just was not dilated, which really was kind of frustrating, I guess, because I was like, this is my third baby. I should know, like, what's going on. Like, I can't go home. And my contractions were very painful. So I was thinking, the nurse had said, like, sometimes you have false labor and sometimes these will just go away. Sometimes they will progress. We'll just have to see. And I was just thinking, like, these are painful. Like, if these go away and then I have to do this again on a different day, that is so not going to be fun. So luckily I didn't have to do it on a different day. But yeah, she's great. She was 5 pounds, 14 ounces, and 20 inches long. Her head circumference is 13 inches. So just a tiny little peanut, and born at 39 weeks. I'm glad we didn't go into labor any earlier, because she would be even tinier than she is now, but she's perfectly healthy. And I don't know if how tiny she is because of me eating healthy on this pregnancy. I don't know if my other 2 babies would have been this tiny as well had I eaten healthy with them, because I surely did not. But she's doing good. I'm doing good. I definitely had an epidural. I was in a ton of pain without the epidural, and was very thankful for it. I could not feel a thing once I had the epidural in the correct spot. And so when it was time to push, I didn't really believe them. I was like, really? Like, because I didn't feel any contractions at all once I got the epidural. Apparently the anesthesiologist gave me a pretty heavy dose of the epidural because I was in a lot of pain. And so, yeah, so when it was time to push, it didn't take very long to get her out. But I totally could not feel anything. They said I was doing a good job, but I had no clue really what I was really doing. So, but she's here. I'm happy she's here. It's so fun to just hold her. So Hannah and Zeke haven't met her yet. My mom's coming up to meet her as well. I'm going to try to feed her before then, and she's eating well and doing good. So I'm excited. She's a sweetheart. Love her. And her name is Halle Journey. Tim and I explained her name and the meaning behind that on our family vlog. If you want to go watch that, that got put up the day before I'm going to put this up. And so you can go see a little bit more detail of how things went with her birth. And I'll put the link in the description below. All right, I'm going to go enjoy my baby girl. Bye.